Let me take you somewhere familiar. Picture the last time you had to speak in front of people. Your heart hammering against your ribs. That tight feeling in your throat. The heat rising in your face. Your mind scrambling for words you know you memorized, but suddenly can't find. Maybe your hands shook. Maybe your breath went shallow. Maybe every second felt like a spotlight burning straight through you. For millions, this moment is one of the most uncomfortable experiences in life. But what if it didn't have to be? What if the physical panic, the racing thoughts, the shaking voice were not signs you're failing, but signals you can learn to interpret, redirect, and even use? In this video, we'll walk step by step through proven strategies, grounded in psychology, physiology, and performance science, to help you not just cope with stage fright, but master it. Let's begin. Your voice is stronger than your fear. Understanding stage fright. What's actually happening in your body? Let's start at the very beginning. Not with your thoughts, not with your attitude, but with your biology. Because stage fright isn't a personality flaw. It isn't a lack of confidence. It isn't proof that you're bad at public speaking. It's simply your nervous system doing what it was designed to do, protect you. So let's step into that moment, the moment right before you speak. You're standing there, preparing to walk up. Your name is about to be called, and without even thinking about it, your body begins to shift gears. Your heart speeds up. Your breath becomes shallow. Your stomach twists a little. Your palms get warm. What's happening is simple and incredibly ancient. Your brain has detected a threat. Not a lion, not a cliff, not physical danger, but the possibility of judgment, of failure, of embarrassment, of being seen. To your brain, these social risks once meant survival. Humans depended on acceptance from the tribe to stay safe. And today, that mechanism is still running in the background. So when you step in front of people, even kind, supportive people, your amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm system, fires up. It floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pumps harder. Your muscles tighten. Your vision sharpens. Your body is preparing you to fight or run. But you aren't in danger. You're just speaking. And that mismatch between the ancient reaction and the modern situation is the entire source of the discomfort we call stage fright. Now here's the good news. This response isn't random. It follows a predictable sequence. And once you understand that sequence, you can work with it instead of being overwhelmed by it. Let's break it down. 1. The trigger phase, before you speak. This begins the moment you know you'll be watched. Anticipation alone can spike your stress hormones. Your brain is essentially forecasting social danger. You may feel butterflies, tight chest, warm face, racing thoughts, the urge to escape. This phase is completely normal and, more importantly, manageable. 2. The activation phase, when you begin speaking. The first 10 to 20 seconds are usually the hardest. Your body is fully activated and you haven't yet built momentum. This is why your voice may shake at the start, or your breath may catch. But there is something most people don't know. Stage fright usually peaks about 20 seconds into your talk and then rapidly decreases. Your body realizes, oh, we're not dying, we're just talking, and the chemicals begin to settle. This is why so many professional speakers say the beginning is the hardest part. 3. The regulation phase, after the first minute. Once you're into your rhythm, your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, turns back on. Your breath settles, your voice steadies, your heart rate drops. You become present. You remember your material. You start connecting with the audience. Most people who fear public speaking don't realize this natural curve exists. They assume the fear will keep rising, but it doesn't. It peaks early and then dissolves as your body recalibrates. Just knowing this makes a difference, because a fear you can predict is a fear you can prepare for. But let's go even deeper. 4. Why do some people experience stage fright more intensely? There are 3 main reasons. 1. High self-awareness. If you're very tuned into your internal sensations, your heartbeat, your breathing, you're more likely to notice the early signs of anxiety and interpret them as a problem. 2. Fear learning from past experiences. A single embarrassing moment in childhood, or even watching someone else freeze, can create an emotional memory that resurfaces whenever you speak. 3. Trait anxiety. Some people naturally have more active amygdalas. It's not weakness, it's biology. But here's the empowering part. Stage fright doesn't mean you're not cut out for public speaking. In fact, research shows that people who feel more anxiety often become better speakers once they learn to manage it. Because they care deeply, they prepare thoroughly, and they feel the emotional energy of the moment more intensely. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's raw material. Now, why is understanding all of this so important? Because when you understand the biology, something powerful happens. You stop interpreting your symptoms as danger. Instead of thinking, my heart is racing, something is wrong, you shift to, my heart is racing because my body wants to help me perform. And that shift, that single mental reframe, reduces anxiety dramatically. You're not broken. You're not failing. Your body isn't sabotaging you. It's supporting you. It's just using an outdated operating system. In the next chapter, we'll take what you've learned here and flip the script entirely. We'll explore how to reframe the fear, how to take that energy and turn it into fuel. Because you're not here just to understand stage fright. You're here to master it. Reframing the fear, turning panic into performance energy. Now that you understand what's happening inside your body, let's explore one of the most powerful concepts in all of public speaking psychology. Fear and excitement feel almost identical. Your heart races in both. Your breath quickens in both. Your palms warm in both. Your stomach flips in both. Your body doesn't actually label sensations as bad or good. It simply creates energy. You decide what that energy means. And that is where reframing comes in, the subtle shift that can change your entire experience on stage. Let's begin. The fear energy reframe. Most people interpret their physical sensations as danger. My heart is pounding. Something's wrong. My hands are shaking. I'm not ready. My voice is wobbly. I'm losing control. But what if nothing is wrong? What if the shaking, the heat, the fast breathing are simply signs that your body is preparing you for high performance? Athletes feel this before big games. Musicians feel this before concerts. Actors feel this before stepping out. Even seasoned speakers feel this before major talks. They don't try to eliminate the energy, they channel it. So when you feel that rush, try saying, silently, internally, my body is helping me. This energy is fuel. I'm excited, not afraid. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it works because it aligns with your physiology. Excitement and fear run on the same biological system. You're not fighting your body, you're repurposing it. The challenge versus threat shift. Your brain has two primary modes when facing a high-pressure moment. Threat mode, I'm in danger. Challenge mode, I can handle this. The difference? Not the situation, just your interpretation. Studies show that when people reinterpret their stress response as a challenge, their blood vessels stay more relaxed. Their performance improves. Their memory sharpens. Their confidence rises. So the next time you feel nerves, say, "This is a challenge I'm ready for. This stress is useful. My body believes I can do something important." The goal isn't to feel calm, it's to feel capable. The audience reframe. They're not judges, they're humans. When fear takes over, we imagine an audience as a panel of critics. Eyes judging us, waiting for mistakes, watching for slips. But real audiences aren't like that. Think about it. When you watch someone speak, you're not hoping they fail. You're hoping they succeed. You want them to be interesting, clear, confident, because their success makes the experience better for you too. The audience is on your side. Even strangers would rather you do well than struggle. So reframe the room from "they're judging me" to "they're with me." Speak to them, not at them. Let the human connection soften the fear. The perfection reframe. Nobody remembers the mistakes. Fear thrives on the belief that everything must be flawless. One stumble, failure. One shake in your voice, embarrassment. One moment of silence, disaster. But here's the truth. Audiences don't notice most mistakes. And the ones they do notice make you more human, not less capable. A slight pause can look intentional. A moment of breath can look thoughtful. A forgotten word can look relatable. Reframe small errors as small moments, nothing more. Perfection isn't the goal, connection is. The spotlight reframe. It's not about you. This is one of the most freeing reframes of all. When you speak, the focus doesn't need to be on you, how you look, how you sound, what people think of you. Instead, shift the spotlight onto the value you're giving. You're not performing, you're contributing. You're teaching, sharing, offering something helpful. When your attention moves from self to service, nerves dissolve naturally. Ask yourself, how can I help them today? What do they need to hear? What value can I give? Suddenly, the fear shrinks. Because it's no longer about being impressive, it's about being useful. The I feel reframe, a simple verbal trick. Before you speak, your brain is swirling with emotion. A fast way to take back control is to label the feeling. But here's the trick. Label it in a positive direction. Not, I'm anxious, but I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling ready. By giving your body a new label, you teach your brain how to interpret the moment. And the moment listens. One more reframe. You get to do this. Fear says, I have to speak. Confidence says, I get to speak. You get an opportunity to be heard. You get a chance to express something meaningful. You get a rare moment where people choose to listen. That's a privilege, not a punishment. And when you see it that way, your body responds differently. Your fear is not an enemy to defeat. It's energy to direct. It's intensity to guide. It's passion that hasn't yet found its path. Once you learn to reframe it, everything begins to change. In the next topic, we move from mind to body. You'll learn physiological techniques to calm your nervous system quickly, safely, and reliably, right before you speak. Physiological techniques to stay grounded. Now that we've reframed the fear, let's talk about what your body physically needs in those nervous moments before you speak. Because sometimes, before the mind can calm the body must calm the mind. Stage fright is first a physiological event, a spike in arousal, adrenaline, and tension. So if you can control your body, you can dramatically lower your anxiety, often within 30 seconds. Let's walk through several grounding techniques you can use right before you step on stage, and even during the first few moments of your speech. Take your time with each one. Experiment. Find the mix that works best for you. The physiological sigh, your nervous system's reset button. This is one of the fastest, most reliable ways to reduce anxiety. It's backed by breath research and used by performers, therapists, and even athletes seconds before critical moments. Here's how it works. 1. Take a deep breath in through your nose. 2. Without exhaling, take a second, shorter breath at the top, like a small sip of air. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth until your lungs feel empty. This double inhale followed by a long exhale tells your brain, "We're safe, stand down." Do it 2 to 3 times. Your heart rate will drop almost immediately. 4 to 6. Breathing, the anxiety equalizer. If your breath becomes fast or shallow, use this. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. The longer exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm down pathway. Think of it as gently pressing the brakes on your nervous system. Do this for 1 minute. Your body will shift out of panic mode naturally. Grounding your feet, a simple posture that changes everything. Nervousness often pulls us into our head, spinning thoughts, imagining judgment, anticipating mistakes. Grounding reverses that. Before you speak, place both feet flat on the floor. Stand tall. Distribute your weight evenly. Feel the surface beneath you, stable, solid, unmoving. Then say silently, "The ground is supporting me." It sounds subtle, but this act signals safety to your brain. You stop floating in fear and return to your body. The body check. Release hidden tension quickly. When you're nervous, tension hides in specific places. Jaw, shoulders, stomach, hands. If you release these spots, your anxiety often drops instantly. Try this sequence. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders down, then back. Relax your belly, don't hold it tight. Spread your fingers wide, then let them soften. Relaxing your body teaches your brain that the threat has passed. The anchor object, a secret stability trick. This is used by actors and performers backstage. Choose one small physical object, a ring, a pen, a bracelet, a coin, and hold it for a few seconds before you speak. Feel its texture, its temperature, its weight. This sensory focus interrupts spiraling thoughts and brings you back to the present moment. If you get anxious mid-speech, simply touch or adjust it quietly. Your brain will remember, I'm grounded, I'm okay. Slow the start. Don't begin while your body is panicking. Most people rush into speaking because they feel pressured to begin immediately. But this is the moment when adrenaline is highest. You have full permission to pause. Walk to the stage slowly. Take your position. Take a breath. Look at the audience. Settle your body. Then begin. Starting slowly gives your nervous system time to stabilize. It also makes you appear more confident, even if you're not feeling it yet. Practice in hot conditions. Train your nervous system. One of the best long-term physiological strategies is to practice speaking when your heart rate is elevated. Try rehearsing after a short jog, after 20 push-ups, after brisk movement. This teaches your brain, I can speak clearly even with adrenaline. When the real moment comes, your body recognizes the feeling and stays steady. These techniques aren't about eliminating nerves, they're about steering them. When your body feels regulated, your mind can stay clear. Your voice can stay steady, and your confidence can rise naturally without force. In the next topic, we move into the inner world, the part of stage fright that begins long before you step on stage. The power of preparation, building confidence before you step on stage. Nervousness doesn't begin on stage. It begins in the hours, days, and sometimes weeks leading up to it. And the most reliable antidote to that slow, creeping anxiety is preparation. Not just knowing your material, but preparing in a way that builds safety, familiarity, and control. Because stage fright thrives in uncertainty, but confidence thrives in clarity. Let's walk through the kinds of preparation that genuinely calm the mind and nervous system. Know your message, not just your script. Many people try to memorize every single word of their speech, and the moment they forget one line, panic strikes. Instead, focus on this. What is the core message I want to deliver? What are the 3 main points? What does my audience need to leave knowing or feeling? When you understand your message, you can recover from anything. A blank moment, a skipped sentence, a rearranged paragraph. Your structure becomes flexible, not fragile. And your confidence doesn't depend on perfect recall, only clarity of purpose. Over-prepare, then let go. Here is a secret professionals use. Prepare deeply, then release the need to be perfect. Run through your content several times. Get comfortable with the flow. Learn your examples, your transitions, your opening and closing lines. But once the foundation is solid, stop forcing perfection. Over-preparation builds comfort. Over-control builds anxiety. Let your final rehearsals be lighter, more natural. Trust that your brain now knows what to do. Practice out loud. The brain needs this. Thinking through your speech in your head feels productive, but it doesn't train your voice, your breath, or your pacing. Your mind is a quiet place. Speaking is a physical activity, so rehearse out loud. Use your full voice. Stand up, gesture, pause, move. When your body has already performed the speech, the real moment feels familiar, not foreign. Rehearse in different environments. If you only practice in your bedroom, your brain associates the speech with ease and safety. But on stage, everything is different. The lighting, the background noise, the distance from the audience, the echo or acoustics. So try rehearsing in your living room, in a hallway, in an empty meeting room, standing on a chair to mimic a stage, with someone watching, with ambient noise playing. This teaches your brain the message stays the same, even when the environment changes. It reduces the shock of stepping into a new space. Bullet point the entire talk. Write your speech in 3 formats. 1. Full script for clarity. 2. Condensed paragraph for flow. 3. Bullet points for memory and recovery. When nerves hit, your mind doesn't recall sentences, it recalls structures. If you know the bullet flow, your brain can reconstruct the rest. Prepare your opening line until it's automatic. The first 10 seconds of speaking are usually the most stressful. Your heart is fast, your breath is shallow, your brain is scanning the room. So prepare the opening so well that it feels effortless. A clear, confident opening acts like a runway. It gives your body time to settle, your breath time to regulate, and your mind time to switch into speaking mode. Once you're past the first 20 to 30 seconds, the rest becomes easier. Prepare for the worst, so nothing surprises you. One of the biggest sources of fear is the unknown. What if I lose my place? What if I blank? What if they look bored? What if I need to adjust something on the fly? Here's the truth. If you prepare solutions ahead of time, fear has nothing to cling to. Plan for recovery. If you forget a line, return to your main point. If your voice shakes, pause and breathe. If the audience is quiet, slow down and engage them. If something interrupts you, smile and resume. Confidence isn't knowing nothing will go wrong. It's knowing you can handle it when it does. Practice under pressure, small, safe challenges. Do small pressure rehearsals like record yourself on video, rehearse in front of one trusted friend, rehearse in front of a mirror, rehearse while standing on a table for height exposure, rehearse while slightly out of breath. Every tiny dose of discomfort builds resilience. Your nervous system learns, I can speak even when I feel pressure. Create a pre-speaking ritual. Just like athletes have rituals before a game, speakers benefit from rituals before a talk. A ritual tells your body, we've done this before, we're safe. This could include a specific breathing pattern, a short mantra, stretching your shoulders, reviewing your opening line, drinking water slowly, visualizing your first minute. Repetition builds trust. Trust builds calm. Remember, preparation reduces anxiety because it builds certainty. Fear grows in the dark. Preparation turns on the light. When you walk on stage knowing your message, your flow, your opening, your recovery strategies, your environment, and your purpose, your body feels safe. Your mind feels steady. Your voice feels ready. You don't need perfection. You need preparation that makes the moment familiar. In the next topic, we'll go deeper into the mind's preparation, a tool backed by neuroscience and elite performers everywhere, visualization. Visualization techniques. Mentally rehearsing success. Take a slow breath. Settle into your seat. And imagine this with me. You're standing backstage. There's that familiar flutter in the chest, the mental pressure building behind your ribs. And then, suddenly, a different feeling unfolds. Quiet confidence. You can see yourself stepping onto the stage. You can feel your posture lift. Your voice flows smoothly, like it knows exactly where it's going. And the audience, they're leaning in, engaged, warm. This version of you isn't wishful thinking, it's a mental blueprint, a rehearsal, a preview of the future your brain can grow into. This is the power of visualization, one of the most reliable, evidence-backed techniques for reducing stage fright and improving performance. And the reason it works is surprisingly simple. To your brain, vividly imagined experience is processed almost like real experience. Which means, when you visualize success, your mind builds a familiarity map that calms the body and strengthens your confidence. You're giving yourself the advantage of already having been there. So let's break this down, step by step, into a method you can actually use. Start with sensory detail. Make your mind believe it. When people hear visualization, they often think of just seeing themselves doing well. But effective imagery uses all senses, not just sight. Try this the next time you prepare for a talk. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. See the room you'll be speaking in, or imagine one that's close enough. Hear your voice, steady, warm, grounded. Sense the air on your skin, the temperature, the space around you. Imagine the small micro-movements, raising your hands, making eye contact, pausing with intention. This sensory layering sends a powerful signal to the brain. Ah, this is familiar. I've done this before. And when something feels familiar, it feels safe. Visualize the process, not just the outcome. Many people try to imagine the end result, the applause, the relief. While that can feel motivating, it doesn't actually teach your nervous system how to perform. The real power lies in visualizing the process. The moment you walk onto the stage. The subtle lift in your posture. The first breath. The real first breath you'll take. The way your voice sounds on the very first line. The pacing of your pauses. The natural movement of your hands. The steady return of calm as you find your rhythm. See yourself navigating these moments smoothly, gracefully. And if your brain insists on throwing in doubt or imaginary mistakes, that's okay. Just imagine yourself recovering well. Because great speakers aren't great because nothing goes wrong. They're great because they know how to stay grounded when something does. Use a confidence anchor image. This is a psychological trick used by athletes, performers, and even fighter pilots. Pick a single mental image that represents the peak version of yourself. It could be you standing tall, shoulders relaxed, you smiling genuinely at the audience, you finishing a sentence with calm power, you making eye contact that feels effortless, you receiving a nod or a warm expression from someone in the crowd. This becomes your anchor, a snapshot of your confident, capable self. Right before you speak, bring this image into your mind. Hold it for just 1 or 2 seconds. Let your body match the posture and energy of that image, because your body will follow whatever image your brain leads with. Validate your visualization with small wins. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't need huge victories to build confidence. It just needs proof. So add small, believable wins into your visualization. A clear, steady first sentence. Someone in the audience nodding. A brief moment where you feel yourself relax into the talk. A smooth transition between 2 points. These aren't fantasies. They're realistic, attainable experiences. And every time you visualize them, you're placing quiet little weights on the I can do this side of the scale. This shapes your mental narrative from, "I hope this goes okay," to, "I've already experienced myself succeeding." Create a guided visualization script for yourself. This is where visualization becomes repeatable and powerful. Write a short script, just a minute or two, that describes how you want to feel, how you want to speak, how you want your body to move, how you want to respond to nerves, how you want to finish your talk. For example, I walk onto the stage calmly. I place my feet firmly. My voice starts steady and warm. Even if I feel a wave of nerves, I breathe and let it pass. I stay connected to my message. I speak with authenticity. I finish clear, confident, and proud. Read this script out loud, or record it and listen back every time you practice. Consistency is what transforms visualization from a nice idea into a powerful mental ritual. Use future memory to override fear. This is a fascinating concept. Instead of imagining yourself before the talk, imagine yourself after it. Picture yourself walking off stage with relief and pride, thinking, "That went so much better than I expected." Feeling energized rather than drained, knowing deep down that you grew today. This rewires the emotional outcome your brain anticipates. Instead of expecting danger, it starts expecting success, and that changes everything. Most important, practice visualization often, not perfectly. There's no perfect visualization. Some days it will feel smooth. Other days your mind will wander or doubt will creep in. That's completely normal. The value isn't in imagining a flawless performance. It's in training your brain to become familiar with the experience of you doing well. Even 2 to 3 minutes a day can shift your emotional baseline. Because confidence isn't built in one grand moment, it's built in hundreds of quiet mental rehearsals. Visualization is not about pretending you're fearless. It's about giving your mind and body a preview of the calm, capable speaker you already have the capacity to become. You're not imagining a dream version of yourself. You're reinforcing the real version of you that wants to emerge. So the next time nerves rise, take a breath, hold your anchor image, and remind yourself, "I've already seen myself succeed." Now that we can visualize our peak, let's address any negativity that might cross our mind. Dealing with negative self-talk. Quieting the inner critic. Let's begin with a quiet truth, one that's easy to forget when nerves are high. Most of the fear we feel before speaking doesn't come from the audience. It comes from inside us, from that small but persistent voice whispering, "You're going to mess this up. You're not ready. Everyone will notice." This internal narrator, the inner critic, is loudest right before the spotlight hits you. It shows up in the shaky breath, the tightening chest, the sudden rush of worst-case scenarios. And if we don't work with it intentionally, it can take over the entire experience. But here's the good news. You can retrain that voice. You can soften it, redirect it, even turn it into something supportive. Not by force, but through awareness, compassion, and practice. So let's explore a set of grounded, evidence-based methods to help you quiet the inner critic and reclaim your voice. First, name the voice. Don't become it. When negative self-talk kicks in, it's easy to merge with it, to feel like those thoughts are you. But a powerful psychological technique is to separate the voice from your identity. Try giving your inner critic a name, something gentle, even slightly humorous. "Ah, there goes negative Nancy again." Classic overthinker. Thanks, brain, but I've got this. This creates emotional distance. Instead of, I'm going to mess this up, it becomes, my anxiety is sending me a warning, but I don't have to listen. The moment you name the voice, you shift into the role of observer, and observers are always calmer than participants. Understand why the voice exists. Negative self-talk isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you from embarrassment, rejection, vulnerability. Your inner critic is a nervous friend using bad strategies. When you feel anxiety rising, try whispering internally. Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I don't need protection right now. I need support. This compassion melts resistance. You're not fighting your thoughts, you're calming them. The nervous system responds far better to reassurance than to internal battle. Challenge cognitive distortions gently. When we're anxious, the brain exaggerates. It predicts disaster where there is none. Psychologists call these cognitive distortions. Here are the most common ones in public speaking. Catastrophizing. One mistake means total failure. Mind reading. They'll think I'm incompetent. All or nothing thinking. If it's not perfect, it's terrible. Fortune telling. I'm definitely going to freeze. The antidote isn't aggression, it's curiosity. Ask yourself, is this thought accurate? Or is it an anxiety habit? What's the actual evidence? Has this always happened? Or is my brain predicting again? What would I say to a friend who felt this way? This slowly dismantles the distortion and brings you back to reality. Replace harshness with neutrality, then kindness. You don't need to jump from self-criticism to self-love in one step. That's too big a leap for the brain under stress. Start with neutral statements. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, try, I'm learning to get more comfortable with this. Instead of, I'm going to screw it up, try, it's normal to feel nervous before speaking. Neutrality gives your mind something believable, something grounded. And once neutrality feels safe, you can slowly shift toward gentle kindness. I'm proud of myself for doing this. I can handle this moment. Nerves don't define my ability. This gradual transition works far better than trying to positivity overpower anxiety. Build a supportive inner script. Many speakers rehearse their content, but very few rehearse their internal dialogue. Before your talk, prepare a short inner script, something you can repeat mentally, almost like a calming rhythm. For example, I breathe, I ground, I speak with clarity. I don't need to be perfect, I only need to be present. Or, nerves are allowed, and I can perform with them. Or even, I know my message, I know why I'm here. I can take this one moment at a time. This becomes your mental companion, something to hold on to when anxiety tries to take the wheel. Use the 3-1 ratio to rebalance confidence. The brain tends to weigh negative thoughts more heavily than positive ones. So here's a practical method. For every negative thought you notice, create 3 grounded, believable counter-thoughts. For example, if your mind says, you're going to embarrass yourself, you might counter with, I've prepared for this. I've spoken well in the past. Most people in the audience want me to succeed. They're on my side. This ratio helps rewire the mind over time. Not instantly, but steadily. Rehearse with your future self, not your fearful self. Many people visualize themselves speaking from a place of fear, but a powerful shift is to visualize yourself speaking as your future, calmer, wiser self. Imagine the version of you who has already done 50 successful talks. See what they would say to you now. You're doing better than you think. You're growing every time. This moment isn't a threat, it's an opportunity. When you rehearse from the future self, your entire nervous system relaxes. It stops preparing for danger and starts preparing for growth. Silence the critic with breath and posture. Thoughts don't only live in the mind, they live in the body. If your posture collapses or your breathing becomes shallow, negative thoughts spike. So try this. Sit or stand with a gentle, open posture. Keep your chest lifted slightly. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6. This long exhale tells the brain, we're safe. And a safe brain is much quieter. Speak to yourself the way you would to someone you love. This might be the most transformative shift. If your friend were nervous, if they were trembling before a presentation, would you say the things your inner critic says to you? Of course not. You'd be gentle. You'd be supportive. You'd remind them that people don't care about perfection. They care about connection. So offer yourself the same kindness. This isn't weakness. This is emotional intelligence, the core of confident communication. Quieting the inner critic isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice, a relationship, a slow transformation from fear-driven thinking to calm, supportive thinking. And remember, the goal is not to eliminate every negative thought. The goal is to make them quieter, softer, less authoritative. You don't need a silent mind to speak confidently. You just need a kinder one. Imagine the version of you who approaches the stage with a gentle inner voice, the version who says, nerves are normal, but they don't control me. I'm allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to speak. That voice, your voice, can become louder than fear. Now let's see how a pre-performance routine can help calm you down. Building a pre-performance routine, a system that calms you every time. There's a moment right before you speak, those last few minutes where your mind and body feel like they're standing at the edge of something big. Your pulse rises, your hands warm, your breathing shifts into that familiar anxious rhythm. This pre-stage moment is where most of the fear gathers. It's also where you have the most power to transform how the entire experience feels. A pre-performance routine is not just a checklist. It's a signal to your brain. We've been here before. We know what to do. We're safe enough to perform. When you repeat the same ritual before every talk, your nervous system learns to associate speaking with familiarity instead of threat. And familiarity reduces fear. Let's build a routine that works every time. Calming, grounding, reliable. Something you can walk into any room with and feel anchored. Add a mental reset, a one-sentence intention. Right after you settle your breath, anchor your mind with a single intention. Not a goal, not a hope, not a pep talk, just a sentence that captures the way you want to be. Something like, I'm here to share, not to impress. Presence over perfection. One moment at a time. I speak with clarity and calm. My job is connection, not performance. This helps shift your focus from fear to purpose, from self-judgment to contribution, from outcome to process. Your intention becomes your compass. Warm up your voice, gently, naturally. A steady voice dramatically boosts confidence. But your voice isn't just sound, it's the product of breath, muscle, and emotional state. So weave a quick vocal warm-up into your routine. Hum lightly for 10 to 15 seconds to wake up resonance. Say a few lines from your script softly and slowly. Slide your voice up and down gently, no pressure, no strain. Speak 1 or 2 anchor sentences at normal volume. This is not about sounding perfect. It's about reminding your vocal cords we're about to communicate. Your voice then feels familiar rather than fragile. Visualize the first 30 seconds only. Many people try to visualize their entire speech, which can feel overwhelming right before you start. Instead, visualize only the first 30 seconds. You step forward. You place your feet. Your shoulders drop. You breathe once. You deliver your opening line with calm clarity. Why 30 seconds? Because research shows that once you settle in, your anxiety naturally decreases. The first moments are the hardest, so visualizing them helps you glide through the threshold. This becomes your mental rehearsal, short but powerful. Do a micro rehearsal of your message, not your words. Right before speaking, don't try to recall your script word for word. That activates stress and can cause mind blanks. Instead, quietly remind yourself, what's my message? What am I here to say? Keep it simple. I'm helping them understand. I'm sharing a tool that will help them. I want them to walk away with this insight. When your brain holds the core message instead of exact phrasing, your delivery becomes more natural and far less anxious. Use a physical trigger, a confidence cue. This is your anchor, a small physical movement that becomes symbolic. Tap your fingers lightly together. Press your thumb to your index finger. Rest your palm on your stomach as you take one grounding breath. Roll your shoulders back once. Touch your notes with intention. This movement becomes a trigger over time. Your brain learns, when I do this, we step into confidence. It's subtle, personal, powerful. Set your emotional baseline, calm determination. Before you step out, take just one moment to check in with yourself. Not to eliminate nerves, but to set your emotional baseline. Ask quietly, how do I want to feel when I begin? Choose something realistic, calm, grounded, steady, present, curious, determined. You're not chasing excitement or peak confidence. You're choosing an emotional tone that supports clarity and presence. This makes your first few lines feel less like a leap and more like a continuation of the state you're already in. Repeat this routine every time. Build familiarity. This is the real secret. The routine works because it becomes predictable, and predictability transforms fear. When you repeat the same steps, grounding, breathing, intention, small vocal warm-up, 30-second visualization, message check-in, physical cue, you create a loop of safety. Your nervous system thinks, I've done this before. I know the steps. This is not a threat. That familiarity becomes one of the most powerful anxiety reducers you have. Enter with purpose, a calm, deliberate first step. The final part of your pre-performance routine is simple. Walk onto the stage, slowly and intentionally. Not rushed, not forced, just deliberate. Your entrance sets the tone for your nervous system and your audience. A calm first step tells your entire body, We're in control. We choose the pace. That single moment can dissolve half your nerves. A pre-performance routine isn't about eliminating fear. It's about creating a ritual that guides you through fear. A ritual that grounds your body, stabilizes your breath, sharpens your focus, warms your voice, clarifies your purpose, and signals safety to your brain. It's not magic, it's practice. But with repetition, this routine becomes a companion, a quiet support system you carry into every speaking moment. Think of it like this. Before the spotlight hits you, before the first word leaves your lips, you've already given yourself everything you need to succeed. You've already created calm. You've already built stability. You've already chosen presence. You don't step onto the stage hoping for confidence. You bring confidence with you. Nonetheless, no one is ever 100% confident. That's why the next topic is stage presence. How to look confident even when you're nervous. When you step on stage, the audience doesn't see your thoughts. They see your body, your movements, your voice, your energy. And often, that's enough to make them think you are confident, even if your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and your stomach feels like it's doing flips. Stage presence isn't about eliminating nerves. It's about managing what the world perceives. Because humans respond first to signals they see: posture, eye contact, gestures, pace. And if you can intentionally manage those signals, your audience will feel you're calm even before your words land. Let's explore practical, grounded strategies to cultivate stage presence so you can look confident, project authority, and connect, even when the nerves are still there. Stand like you belong. The foundation of presence is posture. Stand tall, feet slightly apart, shoulders relaxed but back, spine lengthened. Imagine a string gently pulling your head upward. Ground yourself through your feet. Why this matters? Your body posture not only signals confidence to the audience, but it also sends signals to your nervous system. Upright, grounded posture tells your brain, I'm stable, I can handle this. It's a subtle physiological boost. Avoid leaning, fidgeting, or curling inwards. Even if your heart feels fast, your body can anchor the calm. Eye contact. Connect, don't stare. Eye contact is the bridge between you and your audience. It's not about staring anyone down, it's about connection. A simple pattern works well. Pick one person on one side, hold their gaze for 2 to 3 seconds. Move to another person on the other side. Continue cycling through the room. If the room is large, look just above heads or at neutral zones, but maintain the sense of connection. This communicates confidence and engagement. Your audience feels seen, and your mind naturally stabilizes because you're focusing outward, not inward on anxiety. Use your hands with purpose. Gestures aren't filler, they're tools. They help your brain structure ideas and help your audience follow your points. A few guidelines. Keep gestures open, palms slightly visible. Avoid gripping the podium, twisting your fingers, or hiding hands in pockets. Match gestures to content. Small, deliberate motions emphasize points. Larger movements communicate energy and presence. Pause gestures at key moments to create emphasis. Your hands are like punctuation marks for your body language. Thoughtful use reinforces clarity, authority, and calm. Move with intention, not randomness. Nervous energy often manifests as pacing, shifting weight, or fidgeting. The solution is intentional movement. Step forward to emphasize a key point. Step slightly back to reset your presence. Turn gently toward different audience sections for inclusivity. Pause deliberately in one spot when making major points. Even minimal, intentional movement communicates authority and helps regulate nervous energy. Your audience perceives calm, even if internally your heart is racing. Control your pace of speech. Nerves tend to accelerate speech. Words spill faster, pauses vanish, clarity suffers. A simple strategy. Speak slightly slower than normal. Pause at punctuation points and transitions. Take a breath before every major point. Emphasize the first few words of each sentence. Slowing your pace doesn't just help your audience understand you, it signals confidence. It gives your body and mind time to stay grounded, and it makes nerves less likely to spiral. Manage micro-expressions. Facial expressions are powerful signals. Even small tension in the jaw, forehead, or eyes can project worry. Quick checks. Lift your jaw slightly, unclench teeth. Soften the forehead, avoid frowning. Smile gently at natural moments. Nod subtly to affirm ideas and maintain connection. These micro-adjustments help your audience feel engagement and warmth. Your brain mirrors what your face projects. Calm expressions invite calm feelings. Harness pauses for presence. Pauses are not empty, they're magnetic. Pause after key points to let ideas land. Pause before responding to a question to show deliberation. Pause after a moment of emotion or impact. This adds weight. Pauses slow perception of time, give you control, and make your speech feel intentional. Anxiety often makes speakers rush. Pauses regain mastery. Embrace authenticity over perfection. Audience members respond more to authenticity than flawlessness. Make natural pauses, even if you stumble slightly. Own minor mistakes lightly, correct them calmly. Let personality show, your voice, humor, or energy. The more you accept that perfection isn't required, the more confident your presence feels. The audience resonates with a speaker who's real, not robotic. Stage presence is not the absence of fear. It is the skill of managing your signals, your body, your voice, your energy, so the world perceives calm and confidence while you speak. When you combine all these techniques, you create the illusion of fearlessness that transforms the audience's perception. And the remarkable truth is, as your body projects calm, your brain begins to believe it too. Even if your heart is racing, even if nerves linger, you look confident. And when you look confident, you feel confident. Stage presence is the bridge between inner nervousness and outward poise. You're not hiding fear, you're channeling it. You're not pretending, you're embodying control. And step by step, gesture by gesture, breath by breath, you become the speaker you've always wanted to be. Now let's see what you can do if you need to recover in the moment that you're speaking. In the moment recovery techniques, what to do when anxiety spikes on stage. Even the most prepared speakers sometimes feel it, the sudden spike of anxiety in the middle of a talk. Maybe it's a blank mind, maybe it's a shaky voice, maybe it's the creeping thought, everyone is noticing I'm nervous. Here's the truth. This happens to everyone, from beginners to seasoned presenters. The key is not to eliminate anxiety, but to recover gracefully in real time. The strategies we'll explore aren't theoretical, they're grounded in neuroscience and performance psychology. They teach your mind and body that a surge of fear doesn't need to derail your performance. Let's explore a set of practical, actionable tools you can use the moment nerves rise, no matter the size of your audience or stage. Pause. The smallest reset has the biggest impact. When anxiety spikes, instinct is often to rush, to speak faster, stumble through words, or try to push past it. But this actually amplifies nervousness. Instead, pause. Even a 2 to 3 second pause is enough. Take a slow, deep breath. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Look at a neutral point in the room, just above heads or at a calm object. Pausing sends a signal to your brain. We are not in danger. We have control. It also gives your audience a moment to absorb your words and demonstrates intentionality. Pausing feels calm, even if inside your heart is racing. Ground yourself physically. Nervous energy often manifests in the body first. Shaking hands, jittery legs, shallow breathing. To counteract this, press your feet into the floor. Slightly roll your shoulders back. Gently unclench your jaw. Place a hand lightly on your notes or desk for tactile grounding. These small physical cues anchor the nervous system. Your body starts to feel secure and your mind follows. Use focused breath as a mental anchor. Even one deep, deliberate breath can stop a spiraling thought pattern. Try this micro reset. Inhale slowly for 3 to 4 seconds. Hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. Repeat once or twice. This immediately signals safety to the parasympathetic nervous system. The body relaxes and your brain receives the message. You can continue. You are capable. Redirect attention outward, not inward. Anxiety often grows when you turn inward. They're noticing I'm nervous. I said the wrong thing. I can't recover. Instead, redirect focus outward. Look at a single person in the audience. Focus on the meaning of your words, not their delivery. Attend to the ideas you're sharing rather than your internal sensations. Shifting attention reduces rumination and gives your mind something concrete to work with. Presence trumps panic. Have a recovery phrase ready. Many top performers use a short mental recovery phrase to regain composure in the moment. Examples: 1 step at a time. Calm, present, connected. I've handled this before. Focus on the message, not the fear. Say it silently or under your breath. Pair it with a grounding breath or subtle hand gesture. Over time, your mind associates this phrase with composure. Normalize the experience. Remember, anxiety spikes are normal. Even the most experienced speakers experience them. Rather than fighting or judging the feeling, acknowledge it. That's my body reacting. It's normal. I can continue. Naming the sensation reduces its intensity. The brain likes patterns and explanations. If you can provide a neutral interpretation, it calms the overactive threat response. Use micro-movement to release energy. Sometimes, nervous energy needs to move through the body. Micro-movements help you release tension without disrupting delivery. Shift your weight slightly from one foot to the other. Make a subtle hand gesture to emphasize a point. Adjust your stance for comfort. These small, intentional movements reset your system. They feel natural, and the audience interprets them as engagement, not anxiety. Recover from a blank mind with structure. Blanking is common under stress. The trick is to have a mental fallback structure. Return to your bullet points or core message. Repeat the last line you said if needed to regain flow. pause, breathe, and continue with the next point. The audience rarely notices minor pauses if your delivery resumes smoothly. Having a recovery plan transforms panic into control. Practice recovery in rehearsal. Recovery isn't only learned on stage, it's rehearsed. Intentionally pause mid-sentence in practice and continue. Simulate blank moments and practice regaining flow. Rehearse nervous scenarios, shaky voice, fumbled words, and repeat recovery steps. Your brain will store these micro-experiences. On stage, even unexpected anxiety becomes manageable because your nervous system has seen it before. In the moment, anxiety is unavoidable, but it is never uncontrollable. With these strategies, you build a toolkit for resilience that works instantly when nerves spike. Stage anxiety is a signal, not a verdict. Each moment you recover calmly strengthens your brain's map of safety and competence. Over time, these small recoveries compound, turning nervous energy into presence, composure, and even connection with the audience. Remember, the goal isn't perfect calm. It's fluid, adaptive confidence, a confidence that emerges naturally even under pressure. With these techniques, you can transform spikes of fear into opportunities to show focus, poise, and mastery. Now, as we come to the end of this video, take a moment to acknowledge something important. The very fact that you're here, learning about stage fright, means you're already moving toward confidence. Fear shows up when something matters. Speaking up matters. Sharing your ideas matters. And choosing to understand your fear instead of running from it is a sign of real strength. Remember that stage fright isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It's your mind and body preparing you for something meaningful. And now you have the tools to guide that energy instead of being overwhelmed by it. You can ground your breath. You can redirect your thoughts. You can reshape the story you tell yourself. You can recover in the moment. You can rise above the fear. Public speaking isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about being connected. It's about letting your message travel from you to someone else, clearly and calmly. So the next time you step up to speak, whether it's in a meeting, a classroom, a pitch, or a stage, carry these principles with you. You are prepared, you are capable, and every time you speak, you're not just communicating, you're becoming stronger, more grounded, and more confident. Thank you for spending this time building your mind. If this helped you, consider listening again as you wind down, wake up, or work. And if you want more calm, long-form learning like this, subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to explore, and I'd love to have you with me. Until next time, breathe, speak with intention, and trust yourself. You've got this.